Good afternoon, Namaste. So today I'm gonna read Garuda Purana, chapter 9. Just hang out with me for a little while. Today is Friday, which is I'm using my special cough medicine. Yesterday I was using it too, but I kind of like snuck that in. Okay, it's 48 verses long. We get situated here. Mic check. Yep. I always gotta do mic check now. There are like 2 to 3 videos without audio. It's terrible. Recent videos too. So this is good. Everything's good. Okay. Oh, maybe I should do hang out with me for a while. Okay. So chapter 9. And if the electricity goes out, that means the live is off. If the live goes off without me saying, namaste, goodbye, then the electricity went off, which means the 80-year-old criminal is acting up again and is messing with me. But I'm recording it at the same time, so nothing is really lost at the end. Hopefully. Okay, thank you. अथ नवमोऽध्यायः श्रीगरुड उवाच कथितं भवतां सम्यग्दानमातुरकालिकं मुह्यमानस्य तत्कृत्यं तदिदानीं वद प्रभो श्रीभगवानुवाच शृणु ताकुशूय प्रवकुशूयमि देहत्यागस्य तद्विधिं मृतं येन विधानेन सद्गतिं यान्ति मानवाः कर्मयोगाद्यदा देहि मुञ्चत्यत्र निजं पापुः तुलसी सन्निधौ कुर्यान्मण्डलं गोमयेन तु तिलांशचैव विकीर्याथ तल्पांशचैव विनिहकुष्वीप्यत् स्थापयदासने शुभ्रे शालग्रामशिलां तदा शालिग्रामशिला यत्र पापदोषभयापहा तत्सन्निधा नमरणोन्मुक्ति 자는또 무크틸 자는또 나라노 마라노 따뜻하느니타 마라노는 무크틸 자는또 따뜻하느니타 나라노는 무크틸 따뜻하느니타 마라노는 무크틸 자는또 수니시치다 तुलसी वित्तपचच्छा या Tulasi Pita Pachachaya Yatra Sati Pavata Paha Tatraiva Marana Mukatiha Salvadar Dana Dulapan Tulasi Vita Pasatanam Tulasi Vita Pasatanam Gurahe Yasya Batishirtate Tadagraham Til Tarubam Hi Na Yananti Yamaking Karaha Tulasi Manjari Yukato Yasutu Prananam Bimunjati sorry Yamasatam Nakushwisatum Shakato Yukatam Pashatai Tasyan Talam Mukhe Kuratavan Tiladai Po Sane Murataha sorry Tiladai Pa Sane Murataha Naro Vishnu Puram Yanti Putrahi Nopya Samchayaha Tilaha Pabitra Sataripitai Daipa Shitya Tulasi Tatai Nunam Nivarayanantiete Durgatim Yanantama Durama Mama Sibedama Sudatu Pudan Sibedama Sudapudan Yatasate Babana Satilah Asura Tanaban Taitia Vidirabananti Tilaisatatah Daipan Bipu Dilme Dai Gushuya Mama Gomasamud Pavah Dasmat Daspaishana Deba Sabaigam Gachachananti Manabah Kushamule Satito Brahma Kushamatie Janal Danah Kushangare Shangangaro Debasatrayo Debah Kusho Satitah Atah Kushabahani Manantara Tulasi Pipuratanabah Naite Nilma Liatam Yananti Kriyamanah Punah Daipa Herpinan Dweshu Nilma Lian Brahmanoh Pratapojane Manantran Kausu Tulasi Hi Naiha Chitayam Cha Utachanah Kumayeno Palipate Tu Talpa Satarana Samsakurate Talpa Satarana Samsakurate Putale Hiaturam Kuriyadanantari Kusham Vivaljayat Brahma Vishnu Shichan Dudra Shichan Saive Devan Hutan Chanah Mananda Lopari Tishutananti Tasamat Kulvita Mananda Lama Salvatran Vasutan Budan Lepo Yatran Ne Vidyate Yatran Lepah Kurtasatatra Punalepena Shuthyati Rakshasashcha Pishachashcha Bhutah Vrata Yamanugah Alipudadeshe Kartavaya Mantarikushwe Kartavaya Mantarikushwe Pishananti Cha Atoguni Hotram Shrad Tamcha Brahma Pojiam Suraljanam Manandolena Vina Bhumya Maturam Naiva Karayat Deputa Bhumya Matahu Kratva Sibalnam Ratanam Mukhe Gushwipet Vishnuha Padam Dakam Tadia Chaligram Asvaru Pinaha Shaligram Ashila Rotoyam Shaligram Ashila Toyam Yah Bibedvinin Dumatrakam Bibedvinin Dumatrakam Sa Salva Panil Mukuto Vaikunantha Puvanam Prajat Tato Ganga Jalam Tadyana Mahapataka Tadyana Mahapatakana Shakam Tadyana Mahapatakana Shakam Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Paladrapam Praparadapa Pratama Palapradama Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Palapradama Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Palapradama Dama Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Palapradama. Alright, 3 more tries. Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Saivati Takartasana Nadana Punuya Palapradama. Got it. Janandrayanam Jaradiasutu Sahasram Kayashotanam Bibediashajaiva Gamgamam Paha Gamgamam Paha Sapao Samao Siadamu Pabapi Agnim Prabhya Yatha Daikushya Dularashil Vinashyati Tatha Gamgamam Bupanena Patakam Pasmasad Pabet Yasatu Suryam Shu Sanantaputam Suryam Shu Sanantaputam Suryam Shu Sanantaputam Kamgayah Salilam Bibet Sa Salvayoni Binil Mukti Tahu Salvayoni Binil Muktahu Sa Salvayoni Binil Muktahu Salvayoni Binil Muktahu Prayati Sadanam Hariha Jalabagahane Naiva Payayananti Tara Janan Paishanat Paishanat Pa Nat Tatai 발샤나트 스발샤나트 바나트 따타. One more. 달샤나트 스발샤나트 바나트 따타. 강은 개띠 길띠나트. 부나티야 부누여는 부르셔는 샤타쇼타 사하스라 샤흐. 강은가 따스마트 비베트 따시안. 잘람 삼사라따라까무. 강은가 강은개띠 요 부루야드 브라노이흐 가는 터가 따이라삐. 모르또 비슈누 보람 야티 나 보날자 야테 푸베 푸비. Sorry. 우드그라마드 피시장 야흐 브라노흐 부루셔흐 시라드 타야는 비타흐. 지는 따야는 마나산 강은감 소피 야티 바람 까티무. Almost halfway there. Wait. Oh. 20 verses left. Or less. Of sure. 아또 티아야는 나마드 강은감 삼스마레트 따주잘람 비베트. 따또 파가바땀 낀찌쯔 추르 누어야는 목을 쉬어다 약간. I have to look this up. Verse 31. It's 48 verses. I'm up to 31, so there's like 18 verses left. Yeah, okay. I'll read it. Hopefully I'll get it in 3 tries. 낀찌쯔 추르누야는 먹고 쉬어다 약감은. 슐로감 알타바담. 슐로감 알타바담 바 요는데 바가바담 바투에트. 나 다시야 보나라 브르틸 브라흐마 로카트 까다자나. 베도파니셔담 바트쯔 치바 비슈누스다바다피. 바트쯔 치바 바트쯔 치바 비슈누스다바다피. 바트쯔 치바 비슈누스다바다피. 바트쯔 치바 비슈누스다바다피. 브라흐마노 쿠셔트리아 비샴 마라놈 무쿠디타 야카무. 브라노 브라야노 사얌 사마예. 브라노 브라야노 사마예. 브라노 브라야노 사마예 구리아다나샤남. 카가 다디아다 두라삼니아삼. 다디아다 두라삼니아삼 비라크타시아 드비자는 마나흐. 삼니아스타미띠 요 부루야드 브라노이흐 가는 터가타이라피. 모르또 비슈누 보람 야티 나 보날자 야테 푸비. 에밤 자타비 타나시아 타이미카시아 다다 카가. 울트바츠 치드레노 까츠차는 띠 브라너 스타시아 수케나히. 무캄 짱 짜쿠슈슈이 나세 깔노 드바라누이 사부타 짬. Epiah Sukurtino Yananti Yogi Nasitam Dalu Lanantra Yogi Nasitalu Lanantra Yogi Nasitalu Lanantra. One more. Yogi Nasitalu Lanantra. Okay. Apanana Milita Prano Yada Hi Pavatahu Puratak Sukushimi Putvan Sukushimi Putvan Tada Vayal Vinishakramati Tututalat Shariram Patate Vashichanan Nilgate Vashichanan Nilgate Maruti Shivare Kala Hatam Patatieva Nirataro Yata Durumah Nilvicheshirtam Shariram Tu Puranoi Mukutam Sukupasitam Asapurushyam Jayate Sadio Dulganantam Salvanin Ditama Salvanin Ditama Dirita Vasata Sharirasya Kurimi Bit Pasamaru Patahu Dirita Vasata Sharirasya Kurimi Bit Pasamaru Patahu Kurimi Bit Pasamaru Patahu Kim Kaibahu Kuriate Dehe Kushana Bit Vamsi Pil Naraihu Kushana Bit Vamsi Pil Naraihu Voltibia Liate Voltibi Apashijaiva Tatan Jale Tejasi Liyata Samira Sutu Samira Nue Akashashijam Yata Kashe Salvabhya Pi Ja Shangankarahu Nityamukuto Jagatasa Kushwi Atman Deheshivajo Marahu Deheshivajo Marahu. Last page, 5 verses left. Salbenendriya Yuto Jivahu Shabudadi Vishoyai Vortahu Shabudadi Vishoyai Vortahu Kamaragadi Piryuktahu Kamaragadi Piryuktahu Kaimakosha Samanan Bitahu Bunuyoba Sanaya Yukuto Limite Sibena Kaimano Pravishatasa Mane Dehe Guruhe Dagate Yata Guruhi Dada Bimanadaya Kimkinui Jalama Lilmat Kimkinui Jalama Limat Kimkinui Jalama Limat Ayananti Tabadu Dashajan Lasaj Jara Mara Shopita Lasaj Jamara Shopita Talmatat Babidah Branjinya Sadai Taimikabarla Pah Taimikabarla Pah Tadainam Kurutiyam Subaivimanena Nayanantite Sudidiadeho Virajam Barasara srak suvalnos ratna paranoi ru petah. Last verse, by the way. Birajam barasrak suvalno sratna paranoi ru petah. Birajam bararat Birajam barasrak suvalno ratna paranoiru petah. 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 Come on. Alright. Hopefully I'll get it in 3 tries. Sometimes it just helps to take the mind off it for a little bit. Birajam barasrak suvalno ratna paranoiru petah. Birajam barasrak suvalno ratna paranoiru petah. Birajam barasrak suvalno ratna paranoiru petah. Dana prabhavatasa mahanupavah prapnoti nakam surapujamanah. Iti Shri Garuda Puranwe Sarodhare Muriyamana Kurtiya Nirupanam Muriyamana Kurtiya Nirupanam Nama Navamotyayah. Okay, I'll read the translation and then take a break. Hello, Mr. Abantus. This is Garuda Purana in the Sanskrit, and I'm pronouncing it in the Aryan pronunciation, which is pretty much non-existent now. It has disappeared since 500 years ago, and I would say I'm one of the top 10 speakers in the world of Aryan Sanskrit speakers. I know there's at least 1 or 2, but as far as I know, there's no more left. And that one that I'm talking about must live as I don't even know if he's really alive or not. I think he's alive. According to all the signs that I've seen that will be considered just purely supernatural and nothing else. But if he's alive, he's been alive for at least 2 million years in one single life. It will be considered an angel, an archangel in the Christian terminology. At the end of the day, everything should tie in together. So things make sense to humans. Who cares if it makes sense to God or gods? As long as it could be explained in science so humans could understand it. And the mind gets pleased. It becomes a form of entertainment, if you will. Okay. I hope that answered the question, Abantus. This is Garuda Purana, which is considered the unluckiest Vedic literature to the people of evil nature, thieves, things like that. And it's the complete opposite, which is the most blessing book, I would say. This hasn't been written. This is my own opinion. This is the most blessing book, which I've just read in Sanskrit, to good people, and it depends on the measure of goodness or good deeds you've done. If the karma was so that you had to wait 20 years for it after hearing this whole book, I just read one chapter. There are 17 chapters, one of which chapter has no translation. It's just, I guess, praising the entire book. It's the last chapter, chapter 17. The other 16 chapters have translations. And, okay, I think that's it. I'm gonna start reading the translation so I could take a break. I don't want the gap between the reading of Sanskrit and English translation to be too wide. So maybe if I need to take a break, I'll take the break after the translation. So right now it's Garuda Purana. I'll fix that right away. There. Perfect. And let me just fix that here. Yay. Everything looks good to go. Okay, chapter 9. On account of the rites for the dying. Garuda said, "You have spoken fully about the gifts for the diseased. Tell now, O Lord, of the rites for the dying." The Blessed Lord said, "Listen, O Darkushuya, and I will explain the rites for one leaving the body, and by what rites men after death reach a condition. When by the effects of karma the embodied leaves his ordinary body, then near to a holy basil tree one should make a ring with cow dung. Next, having scattered sesame seed, he should strew daipa grass, and then have the shalagrama stone placed on the cleaned platform. Liberation is certain for the being who dies near the shalagrama stone, which removes all else and sins. Where is the shade of the holy basil tree, which removes the pain of being, there is always liberation for the dying, difficult to obtain by gifts. The house in which the holy basil tree is enshrined is like a holy bathing place. The servants of Yama do not come to it. Yama is not able to see him who gives up his life while having a holy basil shoot, though he have hundreds of sins. The man who dies with the leaf of it in his mouth upon a seed of sesamum and taipa grass goes to the city of Vishnu, unfailingly, though he have no son. Sesamums, taipa grasses, and holy basil are three holy things, and they prevent an ailing man from going to a miserable condition. Because the sesamum is produced from my sweat, it is holy. Hence asuras, danavas, and daityas run away from sesamum. The taipa grasses, my riches, O Darkushuya, are produced from my hairs. Hence by the mere touch of them, men attain heaven. Brahma is seated at the foot of the kusha grass. In the middle of the kusha is Janardana. At the tip of the kusha is Shankaradeva. Three shrines, shining ones, are seated in the kusha grass. And Janardana is Vishnu, Shankaradeva is Shiva. Hence kusha fire, manantras, holy basil, Brahmins, and cows do not lose their purity by being used again and again. Taipa grasses become unclean with rice balls. Brahmins by eating the offerings for the departed. Manantras, cows, and holy basil when basely used, and fire on a cremation ground. One should lay the dying man on the ground, cleaned with cow dung and spread over with taipa grasses, not support him in the air. And what does that mean? When the people of the house are aware that one is about to die, they remove him from the couch to the ground. From the couch to the ground. I didn't know that. Wow. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra are the shining ones, and sacrificial fires stand upon the ring. Therefore should one make a ring. The ground must be pure everywhere, with no stain to be seen. If there is a stain, it should be cleaned away by further plastering. Demons, goblins, elementals, spooks, and the followers of Yama enter an impure place and a cut above the ground. Hence, without this ring, one should not perform oblations to the fire, Shraddha, the feeding of Brahmins, the worship of the holy ones, nor place the dying man upon the ground. Next, placing him on the cleaned ground, one should put gold and jewels upon his lips and give him the water of the feet of Vishnu in the form of shalagrama. He who drinks even a drop of the water of the shalagrama stone is absolved from all sins and goes to the residence Vaikuntha. Then one should give him the water of the Ganges, which is the epicenter of great sins, and gives fruit of merit equal to bathings and gifts at all the sacred waters. He who performs 1,000 times a Chandrayano fast, which purifies his body, and he who drinks the water of the Ganges are both equal. Just as, O Darkashur, a bundle of cotton is destroyed by falling into the fire, so by his drinking the water of the Ganges is his sin reduced to ashes. He who drinks the water of the Ganges, heated by the rays of the sun, is free from all births and goes to the abode of Hari. By bathing in other rivers, men are purified, so also by merely touching, drinking, or calling upon the Ganges. It sanctifies meritless men by hundreds and thousands. Therefore should one drink of the Ganges, whose water helps one over the ocean of transmigration. He who calls all Ganges, Ganges, while life is flickering in the throat, goes when death to the city of Vishnu, and is not born again on earth. And the man who, when his life is leaving, contemplates with faith the Ganges, goes to the highest goal. Therefore he should contemplate, salute, keep in mind the Ganges, and drink its water. Then he should listen, however little, to the Bhagavata, which is a giver of liberation. I think it's Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavata Purana. Oh, that's Srimad Bhagavata. He who, in his last moments, repeats a verse, or half or quarter of a verse, to the Bhagavata, never returns hither from the world of Brahma. The repeating of the Vedas and the Upanishads, the hymning of Vishnu and Shiva, these bring liberation at death to Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. At the time when the breath is leaving the body, he should make a fast of it. Dissatisfied with worldly things, the twice-born should take up relinquishment. He who says, while life is still flickering in his throat, I have relinquished, goes at death to the city of Vishnu, and is not born again on earth. Then of him who is righteous and has thus performed the rites, O bird, the life breaths easily pass out through the higher opening. The mouth, eyes, nostrils, and ears are the 7 gateways through which go those of good deeds. Yogins go through an opening in the head. When the rising and descending life breaths, which are joined, become separate, then becoming subtle, the light breath departs from the inner body. Almost done. When the load of breath departs, the body falls like a tree, unsupported and stricken by time. The motionless body led by the vital breath becomes detestable and unfit to touch. Foul smells soon arise in it, and it is disliked by everybody. How can men who perish in a moment be proud of the body with its 3 conditions, worm, dung, and ashes? Earth is dissipated to earth, likewise water to water. Fire is dissipated in fire, also air in air. And similarly ether to ether. And the self that is in the bodies is happy, all-pervading, eternally free, witness of the world, birthless and deathless. The individual possessing all the senses, surrounded with sense objects of sound and the rest, clinging to desire and love, environed by the sheath of kaima, endowed with good tendencies, enters a new body created by his own kaima, as does a householder whose house has been burnt. Then the messengers of the Shining Ones, resplendent with flashing plumes, arrive, bringing a chariot, wreathed with countless bells. And they, knowing the true righteousness, wise, always beloved by the righteous, carry him who has performed the rites away in their own chariots. That great man, in a resplendent body with shining garments and garlands, possessed of gold and diamond ornaments, by virtue of gifts attains heaven and is honored by the holy ones. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick break. So I hope that answered whatever I said before. Reading the English translation answered the question of Antus. I apologize, but yeah, I am now required to take a break because body's tired. It's more tired than usual because I'm using my special cough medicine. Hybrid. Okay. I'm still taking a break. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I have to read Bhagavad Gita again. So I'm gonna read chapter 1 today again. And whether you like it or not is really not up to you. It's about my healing. What is the purpose of me reading the Bhagavad Gita over and over and over in Sanskrit and the translation in English? Because well, first I need the translation because I don't know the meanings of any Sanskrit at all. I hope that one day, the meanings would open itself up within my heart, and then I understand the entire Sanskrit in a blink of an eye, and it'll be the end of the world for sure. But the reason why I say that is because Sanskrit is the closest language to your DNA. It has the power to change your DNA. I say the power to change, and I didn't say it will change your DNA. It has the power to change your DNA. So, sorry, I'm trying to find the first chapter in the English translation. But yeah, these are very, very important books. So the reason why I read it over and over and over is one day I'm gonna internalize it. Whether I have made many mistakes or not will not really matter at that point, because I would have internalized the entire thing after having done it for 108 times. How many times has it been? 12 times? 13 maybe? 11? But once I get up to 108 times, I would have internalized the entire thing. What does that mean? It means it doesn't really matter if I made many mistakes in reading it, all that time or not, because the whole thing is in my system. It's like the more mistakes, the better. Now, the entire map of the whole thing. The effects of if you have what are the effects of when you pronounce it the wrong way, stuff like that. 108 times. How many months is from that? So that's like every day I do it. 108. Couple of years. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't want to know anymore. It's too much. 100. I have a calculator for that purpose on my PC. 108 times 18 chapters, and I do it 6 days a week. So that'll take me 324 weeks. Divided by 52 weeks. 6 years. 180 times will take me 6 years. So that's the reality. I'll do the math again when I don't want to do it right now. I'll do it again just to make sure. 6 years of reading Bhagavad Gita 108 times. If that's the reality of things. Anyway. So yeah, the whole reason why I read it over and over and over is so I can internalize the entire thing. The better I read it more perfectly, the better my chances of internalizing it, the earlier it will be. Because back, 5,000 years ago, it was so that once you heard it, you internalize the entire thing right away. It was in your system for your entire life. You were able to recite it again to other people. So you were a recording system 5,000 years ago, up until 5,000 years ago. And then the Second World War happened. 1 billion people from the world came to India, into Kurukshetra, to fight, and out of 1 billion people, only about 25,000 people survived, or fewer. It's either 25,000 or 12,000, something like that. Yeah, out of 1 billion people, only 25,000 people survived. Well, before that, we had all this, what you might call alien technology, because it wouldn't make any sense to you. Like Arjuna had a flag that was pretty much what you would call like modern day, digital display flag. What do I mean? His figures and his flags were moving around, and people were able to see it. It's moving around. It was Hanuman that was moving around. It even came out of the flag and did something funny. But that was the reality back then, and that was the this is at the war of the Kurukshetra, which is the Second World War, of the real Second World War, not the World War of the Second World War of 1940 something, 19 whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the last century World War II. I'm talking about the real World War II, which happened in India, in Kurukshetra. It lasted 18 days, and 1 billion people came to Kurukshetra in India to fight, and out of that, only about 25,000 people survived, or fewer. It's either, like I said, 12,000 or 25,000 survived after 18 days. What happened was the family of Pandava, which is the protagonist Arjuna and Krishna, they won, and the other side was so upset that they came in the middle of the night and slew the other party. Slew about 90% of the other party in the middle of the night. So that's why the number got really, really, really shortened. They committed a war crime, basically. Okay, yeah, it gets really, really crazy at the end. You just go, wow. It's a gut-wrenching. A horror movie with gut-wrenching effects. But you thought you won the war, and then you sleep in the middle of the night, and yet the remnant of it was only about like fewer than 20 people who came to in the middle of the night and slew like millions of people in the middle of the night. They had the skills back then. The martial arts that has no it's incomparable to the martial arts that existed back then. What do I mean? Back then, people with bare hands would kill hundreds of men within a minute. Easily. So, but I'm non-violent. My mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, blesses or curses. Either it'll bless you if you're a good person, and it will curse you if you're a bad person. And it's to the degree of how bad or how good you are is the blessing or the curse that you will receive, if you listen to it long enough. So if karma owes you something because you're a good person, and karma owes you something, you feel like karma owes you something. You say, hey, I've been waiting so long, like what's good? Just listen to the mantra chanting that I do. Or even this, the Bhagavad Gita that I do, because this teaches you how to be still in times of trouble. Because according to Krishna, God had to teach the sun to be still at all times, no matter what's going on in the earth. and he did it with the Bhagavad Gita. So this is that Bhagavad Gita. But the first chapter has really nothing to do with the the theories of the Bhagavad Gita. It sets the settings for the remaining chapters. So it's the background story, basically. Okay, so here you go. I'm wasting time now. So that's Bhagavad Gita for you from me. If anybody says, oh no, that's not the Bhagavad Gita that I heard from my professor, was holier than thou by a billion times. A billion times. I want to say. Cool, listen to him. He's better than me. Namaste. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Atha Prathamothyayaha. Arjuna Vishuddha Yogaha. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharma Kushwatre Guru Kushwatre Samavetan Yuyut Savaha. Mamakaha Manandava Panandava Shachaiva Gimukulvata Gimakulvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya Uvacha. Durshatava Tu Manandavanikam Vyutam Duryotanasatada. Acharya Mupasangamya Raja Machanama Puravit. Pashyaitam Panandu Putrano Macharya Mahatim Jamum. Vyutam Drupada Putrano Tava Shishwano Ti Mata. Atra Shura Maheshivasa Bhima Arjuna Sama Yuti. Yuyutano Virata Shija Drupada Shija Maharatha. I need a little water. Drashata Katush Jakitanaha Kashira Jashacha Piryapan Purujit Kunanti Pocha Jashacha Gurujit Kunanti Pojashacha Shaibyashacha Narapungabaha Yutamani Ushacha Pikrananta Udatama Ujashacha Piryaban Saupadro Draupadaya Shacha Saiva Eva Maharatha. Asamakam Du Vishishutu Ye Nananibota Divijotama Nayaka Mama Sainiasya Samjinya Tam Danam Brabimite. Pavanam Pishimashacha Kainoshcha Kurupashacha Sami Tinjayahu Ashivatatama Pikanoshacha Samadatatisata Taiva Samadatatisata Taiva Cha. It was an alternative word. Samadatatil Jayadratah. Ja. Just in case. Sorry. Aniya Jam Bahavaha Shura Madalte Dyagata Jivitaha Nana Shasatra Praharanoha. I'm sorry. Nana Shasatra Pravahara. Na shasatra parabahara no. I think I did it the first time, so it's not letting me say it again. Namaste, please let me say it one more time. Na shasatra parahara no. Salve yudutapisharada. Aparyapatam tadasumakam balam pishima pirakushvitam. Paryapatam Tibidam eteshwam balam pima pirakushvitam. Ayaneshu cha salveshu yata pagama basatitah. Yata pagama basatitah. Pishimameva pirakushwanantu pavanantah salva eva hi. Tasyan sanjanan nyanan haisham. Sanjanayanan haisham guru vurudutah pitamahah. Simhanadam dina diochajah shangankam natmau prata pavan. Tatah shangankashacha periyashacha panavanaka gomukah. Panavanaka gomukah. Panavanaka gomukah. Sa saiva biahanyananta sa shabudasutumulo pavat. Shabudasutumulo pavat. Tatah shivatai hairiya hai Shivetai hayai ryukute mahati siyanandane sthitau. Matavah panandavashicha divyau shangankau pradatmatuh. Panchajanyam horushui kesho devadatam tananjayah. Paunanduram tatmau mahashangankam pimakaima purakodarah. Ananta vijayam raja gunanti putro yutishthvirah. Nakulah sahadavashicha sukoshamanui pushipakau. Kashyashicha parameshivasah shikhanundui cha maharatah. Durashita diumuno viratashcha satyakishacha parajitah. Durupado drapadayashacha salvashah purtivi pate. Drapadayashacha salvashah purtivi pate. Sorry. Saupadrashacha mahabahuh shangankanandatmuh puratak. Sa kushvo tartarashadrunom hurudayani vyadarayat. Napashacha purativim jaiva tumulo pianunadayanu. Tumulo vyanunadayanu. Atha vyavasathitan durashatava tartarashadran kapithvajah. Pravurudate shasatra samampate tanurudiyamya panandavah. Urushui kesham tadai vakyamidamaha mahipate. Arjuna uvacha Senayoru mayor patie. Senayoru payo 세나요르 파열마티에 라탐 스타바야 메지우다 야바데타는 이리 구슈에함 요드투카마나 바스티타는 깔마야 사하 요드타비아 마스미느 라너사무디아메 요드시야마나 베쿠슈에함 야 에테트라 사마가타흐 상알따라 셰트로시야 눌부드테 뿌리야찌길 셔바흐 산자야 우바짱 에바무크토 흐르슈이 깨쇼 구두얼 깨셰나 파라타 세나요르 파열마티에 스타바이트바 라토트 따마무 비슈마드로노 브라무카타흐 살베슈음 짱 마히 구쇼이땀 우바짱 발타 마시아이타는 사마베타는 구루니티 따트란 바시아트 스티타는 발타흐 비트르르나타 비타마하는 아자리아는 마둘라는 프라트르르는 부트라는 바우트라는 사킴스타타 시바슈라는 수호르다 샤시짜이바 시바슈라는 수호르다 시짜이바 세나요르 파요라피 따는 삼이 구슈여 사 까우는 때야흐 살바는 바는 두나 바스티따는 그르빠야 빠라야 비슈뚜어 비슈이다는 이다 마브라비트 알주나 우방아짱 드르슈트베맘 스바자남 그르셔노 유유투숨 사무바스티따무 시다는 띠 마마 가드라누이 무캄짜 파리슈슈엽띠 베파투시짱 샤리레 메 로마하셔시짱 짜야떼 가는 루이밤 사람사떼 하스타떼 뜨바크 짜이바 파리다히아떼 나짱 샤크노미야 바스타툼 프라마티바 짱메 마나흐 미미트타니 짱 파시아미 피파리타니 캐샤바 나짱 시레요누 파시아미 하트바 스바자나마 하베 나 강은 구슈에 비자얌 그르셔노 나짜 라지암 수카니 짜 김노 라지에나 고비는다 김 포갈지비테나 바 예수 말테 강은 구슈이담 노 라지암 포가흐 수카니 짜 다 이메바세티타에 유드테 브라넌 스티아크트바 타나니짜 아자리아흐 피타라흐 부트라스 타타이바 짜 피타마하흐 마툴라흐 시바슈라흐 바우트라흐 시알라흐 사문바티나는 Nasatata. Xiala. Sorry. Xiala. About 10 verses left. Maybe 15 or fewer. Hello, Mr. Ryan Smith. Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If, I'm starting to realize that this YouTube relationship with me is symbiotic. The better I do it, the better you people are. Okay, so I better do it better, and better. Okay. You seem better than usual. No, man, Peter. Oh, not that word. You said the B word. Which one? Yeah, I'm gonna say the whole verse of the second half of the shloka number 34. That's 34. That 3 is exactly the same 3 in Sanskrit or Hindi. And that's 4. And here we go. Namaste. Matulah, Shivashurah, Pauturah, Shyalah, Samambanan Tinasatatar. Etanana Hanantumichami Kunatopi Matusudana Api Drailokia Rajasya Drailokia Rajasya. Sorry. I'll finish this verse and then I'll decide something. Drailokia Rajasya Hetoha Kim Nu Mahi Kurate. So I wanna stop right now. Let me see how many there are. There are 47 verses. So I have about 11 left. So what I wanna do is I should take advantage of today. I'm gonna use my special cough medicine, which means I'm taking a 2-minute break. But I'll leave you guys on so you know. Oops, what the hell? Oh, one thing affects the other. Everything affects everything. This is just one example. Are we alone? Yes, if you're like me, then you're alone. So this makes sense. What I said does not make sense, but what I'm doing now makes sense to me. I'm doing this for my healing. This is not a lecture series. This is not, your alternative Sanskrit course studies. Although studying Bhagavad Gita will really, really help your Sanskrit if you just study it over and over and over. Because first off, Bhagavad Gita is one of the hardest chapters to read within the Mahabharata for sure. It's like harder than at least 90% of all the other verses in Mahabharata. The words are very, very hard to pronounce compared to other chapters in Mahabharata, of which the Bhagavad Gita comes from. Bhagavad Gita is not even 1% of the entire Mahabharata. 99% is missing. So, okay, taking a break. I wanted the effect to settle in because it takes a couple of minutes at least. A few minutes. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Nihatya. Thal tara shitra nanah ka puritiha siaj janal dana. Papa me pashraya dasmanan vaitana tata yinaha. Papa meva shiraya dasamanan hat vaitana na tata yinaha. Alright, 3 tries. Papa meva shiraya dasamanan hat vaitana tata yinaha. Okay, I did it. I want to do it one more time. If Sanskrit lets me do it one more time, it means Sanskrit really, really, really loves me. If it doesn't let me do it one more time, then Sanskrit doesn't love me as much as I thought it loved me. Okay, so then because when you speak utter Sanskrit, it's not just you uttering it. The earth is recording it. It records all the utterances it's heard of Sanskrit being uttered. And this is in the past and future and present. The earth does not know time as much as humans do. So everything is, it's like, oh, this is happening now, who cares? I mean, it does care, but not as much as humans do. You don't know anything about humans. I don't know anything about humans. I'm sorry, I take it back. I don't know shit about humans. I know a little more than, of spirits and gods and small gods and big gods and God in general than humans. What does that make me? And I guess that's what makes Ha Shatan. Doesn't understand humans. Papa me ba shiraya dasamanan hatu vaitana tata yinaho. I got 2 more tries. Papa me ba shiraya dasamanan hatu vaitana tata yinaho. I did it, but it had a lot of flamming effect. I want. I'm inventing non-kosher terms. Okay, I could do this. Papa me ba shiraya dasamanan hatu vaitana tata yinaha. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna leave it at that. Dasamanan 날하 bayam hanantum 달 따라 시들어는 스바바는 타바는 스바자남 히 까탐 하트바 수키나허 시야마 마타바 야디야 피에테 나 파시아는티 로파 로포파하 따짜따사허 꿀라꾸쇼야 끌었담 도숑 미트라드로해 자 빠따까무 까탐 나 지네야 마스마 피흐 빠빠다스나는 니발티뚜무 꿀라꾸쇼야 끌었담 도숑 빠라빠시아는 빌잖아 일다나 빠라빠시아드 빌잖아 일다나 꿀라꾸초에 브라노시아는티 꿀라꾸 탈마흐 사나다나흐 탈메 나쇼토에 꿀람 그르테스나마 탈모 피파바티우타 그르테스나마 그르테스나마 탈모 피파바티우타 그르테스나마 탈모 피파바티우타 I should get it in 3 tries. 그렇듯으나마 탈모 피파파티우타 2 more. 그렇듯으나마 탈모 피파파티우타 almost. Last one. I'm gonna fail. 그렇듯으나마 I failed. What does that mean? Keep going. 그렇듯으나마 탈모 피파파티우타 그렇듯으나마 탈모 피파바티우타 탈마 피파바트 그러셔너 브라두시오는 띠 굴라스트리야흐 스트리슈 두슈뜨수 바슈노야 자야테 바이너상은 까라흐 상은가로 나라까 야이바 굴라크나남 굴라시아짜 바타는 띠 삐따로 예슈음 루프타피눈더 다까 끄리야흐 루프타피눈도 다까 끄리야흐 도셔이라따이흐 굴라크나남 바너상은 까라까라까이흐 우트사디 하는 때 자디 탈마흐 불라탈마셔자 샤셔바타흐 우드사는 나콜라 탈마넘 마누슈여넘 자날다나 나라께 니아땀 바소 나라께 니아땀 바소 파바티 디아누슈슈루마 파바티 디아누슈슈루마 almost 아호 빠따 마하트 빠밤 깔툼 비아바시타 바야무 야드라지야 수칼로페나 하는 툼 스바자나 무디아따흐 야디 마마 프라티카라마 샤스드라바노야흐 당을 따라 셔트르 라누에 하니우스 따는메 구슈에 마따람 파베트 산자야 우바짱 에반무크트 발주나흐 상은키에 라토파스타 우파비샤트 비스르지아 삼샤얌 비스르지아 사샤람 짱밤 쇼카삼비그나마 나사흐 쇼카삼비그나마 나사흐 따뜻사디티 시리마드 바가바드 기타 수파니샤트수 브라흐마비디아얌 요가샤 샤스트레 Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Arjuna Vishoda Yogo Nama Pratamotyāyaha. Okay, I'm gonna read the translation and then take a break. Thank you again, guys. Thank you for the encouragement. Namaste, everything helps. Okay, here we go. I want to get to it so I could take a break. It's like, what's the motivation of reading the translation so I could take a break? Dhritarashtra said, assembled together on the sacred plain of Kurukshetra from desire of fighting, what did my sons and the Pandavas do, O Sanjaya? Sanjaya said, beholding the army of the Pandavas arrayed, King Duryodhana, approaching the preceptor, said these words, behold, O preceptor, this vast army of the sons of Pandu, arrayed by Drupada's son, thy intelligent disciple. There are many brave and mighty bowmen who in battle are equal to Bhima and Arjuna, Yuyutana and Virata, and that mighty car warrior Drupada, and Drushidaketu, and Jakitana, and the ruler of the Kashis, endued with great energy, and Purujit and Kunti Puja and Shaivya that rule among men, and Utama knew of great prowess, and Uttama was of great energy, and Supadra's son, and the sons of Draupadi, all of whom are mighty car warriors. Here, however, O best of regenerate ones, who are the distinguished ones among us, the leaders of my army, I will name them to thee for information. Thyself and Bhishma and Karna and Kripa, who is ever victorious, and Ashwatthama and Vikarna and Samadadati and Jayadratha. Besides these are many heroic car warriors prepared to lay down their lives for my sake, armed with diverse kinds of weapons, and all accomplished in battle. Our army, therefore, protected by Bhishma, is insufficient. This force, however, of these, protected by Bhima, is sufficient. Stationing yourselves then in the entrances of the divisions that have been assigned to you, all of you protect Bhishma alone. The valiant and venerable grandsire of the Gurus, affording great joy to him by loudly uttering a leonine roar, blew the conch. Then conchs and drums and cymbals and horns were sounded at once, and the noise became a loud uproar. Then Madhava and Bandu's son, both stationed on a great car onto which were yoked white steeds, blew their celestial conchs, and Hrishikesh blew Panchajanya and Dhananjaya, Devadatta, and Virkodara of terrible deeds blew the huge conch, Bandura, and Kunti's son, King Yudhishthira, blew Anantavijaya, while Nakula and Sadeva, Sukosha and Manipushubaka, and that splendid bowman, the ruler of the Kashis, and that mighty car warrior, Shikandan Duin, and Trishitadyumna, and Virata, and the unvanquished Satyaki and Drupada, and the sons of Draupadi, and the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all these, O Lord of Earth, severally blew their conchs, and that blare, loudly reverberating through the Walkin and earth, rent the hearts of Tartarashadras. And beholding the Tartarashadra troops drawn up, the banner son of Bandu, raising his bow when the throwing of missiles had just commenced, said these words, O Lord of Earth, to Hrishikesh. Arjuna said, O thou that knoweth no deterioration, place my ear. Wait, sorry. Arjuna said, O thou that knoweth no deterioration, place my car between the two armies, so that I may observe these that stand here desirous of battle, and with whom I shall have to contend in the labors of the struggle. I will observe those that are assembled here, and who are prepared to fight for doing what is agreeable in battle to the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya continued, thus addressed by Gudakesha, O Parata, Hrishikesh, placing that excellent car between the two armies, in view of Bhishma and Drona and all the kings of the earth, and said, Behold, O Bharata, these assembled Gurus. And there the son of Pratama beheld, standing, sires and grandsires, and preceptors and maternal uncles, and brothers and sons and grandsons, and friends, and fathers-in-law and well-wishers in both the armies. Beholding all those kinsmen standing, O son of Kunti, possessed by excessive pity, despondingly said, Arjuna said, Beholding these kinsmen, O Krishna, assembled together and eager for the fight, my limbs become languid, and my mouth becomes dry. My body trembles, and my hair stands on end. Gananduiva slips from my hand, and my skin burns. I am unable to stand. My mind seems to wander. I behold adverse omens to O Keshava. I do not desire victory, O Krishna, nor sovereignty, nor pleasures. Of what use would sovereignty be to us, O Govinda, or enjoyment, or even life? Since they for whose sake sovereignty, enjoyment, and pleasures are desired by us are here ready for battle, ready to give up life and wealth, with preceptors, sires, sons and grandsires, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsires, brothers-in-law, and kinsmen. I wish not to slay these, though they slay me, O slayer of Matu, even for the sake of the sovereignty of the three worlds. What then for the sake of the earth? What gratification can be ours, O Janardana, by slaying the Tartarashadras? Even if they be regarded as foes, sin will overtake us if we slay them. Therefore, it behoveth us not to slay the sons of Dhritarashtra, who are our own kinsmen. How, O Madhava, can we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Even if these, with judgments perverted by avarice, do not see the evil that ariseth from the extermination of a race, and the sin of internecine quarrels, why should not we, O Janardana, who see the evils of the extermination of a race, learn to abstain from that sin? A race being destroyed, the eternal customs of that race are lost, and upon those customs being lost, sin overpowers the whole race. From the predominance of sin occurs, the women of that race become corrupt. And the women becoming corrupt, an intermingling of castes happiness to descendant of Vershunui. This intermingling of castes leadeth to hell, both the destroyer of the race and the race itself. And the ancestors of those fall, their rights up in the and water sizzing. By these sins of destroyers of races, causing intermixture of castes, the rules of caste and the eternal rights of families become extinct. We have heard that men of men whose family rights become extinct ever dwell in hell. Unless we have resolved to perpetrate a great sin, but we are ready to slay our own kinsmen from lust of the sweets of sovereignty. Better would it be for me if the sons of Turtara should a weapon in hand, should in battle slay me, unavenged and unarmed. Sanjaya continued. Having spoken thus on the field of battle, Arjuna, his mind troubled with grief, casting aside his bow and arrows, sat down on his car. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. Thank you. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. How long has it been? So I got half an hour left, pretty much. Yeah, I'm still taking a break. Okay, I'll read you the top headlines. Syrian insurgents breach Aleppo after detonating 2 car bombs, monitoring group and reports say. What to know about the Amazon strike on Black Friday? Texas is gearing up a big way for Trump's mass deportation campaign. It's one Trump news, a little fewer. Bears fire coach Matt Eberflus with free-falling team last in NFC North. S&P 500 Dow notch records to cap best month of the year. Dangerously cold wind chills, millions facing frigid temperatures, snow. Biden says he hopes Trump rethinks tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Cucumber sold in 26. I'm laughing because the idea of Biden doing anything just bypass my thinking process. what did Biden just do? Wait, Biden did something? He said it. Okay, he says he didn't do anything. He says he hopes Trump thinks, but he said something. That's so okay. He did something, which is that he said something, which is he hopes that Trump rethinks his tariffs on Mexico and Canada. That really it becomes really suspicious now, because why would he even go there? Anyway. Cucumbers sold in 26 states recalled over salmonella concern. Walmart, Wegmans included in recall. Donald Trump's call for energy dominance is likely to run into real-world limits. So that's number 2 or 3. Number 3 Trump news out of 9 Trump news that I'm gonna read you. That's number 6. Number 7 coming up. Syrian insurgents breach Aleppo after detonating two. Okay, I already read everything. Right. Going back to now, it's. I hope I changed the title. I am so unsure. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So now it's Yoga Sutra, book 2. I thought I did 24. I did not do 24. I did not read 24. Seriously? Am I sure? Do I have to go back to one of my videos? You know what? I'll read 24 over again. If I read it yesterday, then so be it. I'll just say 24. 2, whatever. Doesn't matter that much. I'll just do it over if that's what the universe is wanting me to do. I'm not gonna try to fight myself. Okay, let's get to it. It means hurry up. Namaste. Yasutu, Bratiak, Jatanasya, Sivabudu Tisami Yogaho, Nasya, Heturabidiam. What is that asterisk? The flower thing. Ooh, scary. There. That's that, I think. Samyogasya, Puddhiti Samyoga. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this and then I'll go to the Piparya Yajinya Nava Sane Tialtahu. Piparya Yajinya Nava Sane Tialtahu. I'll just read this because nothing makes sense. Doesn't make sense. Buddhiti Samyogasya Hetuhu Iti Patvo Vidyate Sa Pramatikahu. Piparya Yajinyana Vasana Vasit. Piparya Yajinyana Vasana Vasita. Number 1. No. Ja Na Karya Nishatam Purusha Kyatim Buddhitiha Prapnoti Satikara Punaravaltate Satu Purusha Kyati Paryavasanam. And there's 2 different alternatives for that word. Purusha Nyata Kya Purusha Nyata Kyati Paryavasanam. Purusha Nyata Kyati Na Purusha Kyati Paryavasana Karya Nishitam. Wait, does that mean I have to say the other version too? Purusha Nyata Purusha Nyata Kyati Paryavasana Karya Nishitam Prapnoti Charita Tikara Nivruta Daishana Panantakara no Pavanana Punaravaltate Manantakara no Pavanana Punaravaltate. Atra Kashacheta Panandu Kopa Kia Nenodit Kato Yati Kashacheta Panando Kapo Kopa Kashacheta Panando Kap. 넘었을 때 help me. 아뜨라. Give me a little water. I'll help myself. Yes. I'll drink a sip of water. 아뜨라. 가시제트 빠른다 꼬빵. 가시제트 빠른다 꼬빵. 키아네노드 카떠야띠. 무드타야. 파리아야 피티야떼. 빠른다 까리아 뿌뜨라. 아빠띠. 매. 파기니. 기말탐. 나마. 나하 힙 나하미띠 사다마하 무르따스 때 마하마 파티아 무트 바다 이슈미띠 무르따스 때 하마 파티아 무트 바다 이슈미띠 따테담 비디아마남 지냐남 지뜨따니 부르뜨팀 나 까로띠 비나실덤 까리슈어띠띠 깐 프라티아 진영에 따뜨라 짜리아다시요 바크티 나누 부드티니 부르뜨띠라바 모구쇼달샤나까라노 파바드 부드티니 부르뜨띠허. I'll say the last word again. Sorry, I got distracted too. Never-ending distraction. Please, God, you haven't answered my prayer for non-distraction while I'm reading my Sanskrit. I don't care whether distraction comes anymore. I'm done with being angry. Just want to go to the next stage. Getting rid of the distraction. Period. I don't care how. You figure that out. You're a God. You could do everything. You could create all things. Grandfather. Thank you. Namaste. Mokushodai shanakara no pabadu budutini budutiho. Tachichan daishanam. Sorry. Banan takaranam. Daishanan ni baltate. 다샤나는 이발따뜻 따뜨라 찌드따니 부르뜨띠레바 모쿠셔흐 기말타마스타나 에바시아 프라티비 프라마흐. Wait, 에바시아 마티비 프라마흐. I said 프라티 마티비 프라마흐. Okay. I call myself. But when there is a correlation of an individual consciousness with its own thinking substance, the reason for this is undifferentiated consciousness. In other words, is a subconscious impression from erroneous thinking. The thinking substance pervaded by subconscious impressions from erroneous thinking does not attain to the discernment of the self, which is the goal of its actions, returns again with its task yet unfulfilled. But that which terminates in the discernment of the self attains the goal of its actions, and its task done, and its non-sight repressed, does not, since the cause of its bondage no longer exists, return again. Some person ridicules this with the anecdote of the impotent man. He is told by his simple-minded wife, "O impotent, my wedded lord, my sister has a child. For what reason have not I?" He says to her, "When I am dead, I will beget thee a son." Similarly, since this thinking, even while existing, does not make a repression of mind stuff, what expectation is there that it will in the future make it cease to be? On this point, one who is almost a master says, is release anything but the cessation of the thinking substance. When there is no cause of non-sight, the thinking substance ceases. And this non-sight, which is the cause of bondage, ceases when there is sight. Then release is nothing but the cessation of the thinking substance. Why then is there this confusion of ideas of his that is so much out of place? We're about 2/3 done with book 2 again. What I wanna do, I'll read one more and then take a break. I have 20 more minutes left. 해얌, 두헉함, 해야까라넘, 해야까라노, 해야까라넘, 자, 삼요가 키암, 산이미 뜻다 묵었다 맞다흐, 산이미 뜻다 묵었다 맞다흐, 바람, 하남, 바까다비암, 따다 파바드 삼요가 파보, 하남, 따드드르셔헤, 따드드르셔헤, 가이발리암, 다시야 달샤나시야 파바드 부드티 부르샤 사미야가 사미요가 파바 다시야 달샤나시야 파바드 부드티 부르샤 사미요가 파바 Sorry. Come on. 다시야 달샤나시야 파바드 부드티 부르샤 사미요가 파바 One more. 다시야 달샤나시야 파바드 부드티스 다시야 달샤나시야 파바드 부드티 부르샤 사미요가 파바 아디아는 띠고 바는 타노 빠라마 이띠알타흐 에따드 타남 에따드 타남 따드드르셰흐 가이발리암 부르샤시아 미트리 미시리 파바흐 부르샤시아 미시리 파바흐 보나라 사미오고 구노이리 띠알타흐 두허카까라는 니브르 뜻다오 두허코파라모 하남 따다에 스바루 파파라티슈트흐 부르셔 이티우크타무 Okay, so I'll read the need to take a break, I think. The pain which is to be escaped and the cause of pain, the so-called correlation, together with their reasons, have been described. Next, the higher escape is to be described. Since this does not exist, there is no correlation. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer. Since this non-sight does not exist, there is no correlation of the thinking substance and of the self. In other words, a complete ending of bondage. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer, the unmixed state of the self. In other words, the state in which is not again correlated with aspects. Upon the repression of the cause of pain, there follows the ending of pain, the escape. Then the self is said to be grounded in his own self. Should I do one more? And take a break? Yeah, something tells me to keep going, so I'll do that. Ata hanasya kah prapatyu paya iti vivekakya tiva tira vivekakya tira viplava hanopayahu 사트트바 puruṣa niyata pratyayo vivekakhyatiha 사 divine siva or diva I'll say both divani vrutata miti divani vrutata mitya jinyata sorry divani vrutata miti divani vrutata mitya jinyana wow Sivani Buddha Mitya Jinyana. No, that's not the word saying it. Okay, so it's the first version. So I'll say it again just in case. Sa Tivani Buddha Mitya Jinyana Plavatem Yada Mitya Jinyanam Dagatabi Japabam Manantya Prasabam Sampadiate Tadang Vituta Klesha Rajasaha Vituta Klesha Rajasaha Satatavasya Pare Vaisha Radie Parasyam Vashikara Samjinyayam Vaitamanasya Viveka Pratyaya Prabaho Nilmano Pavati San Viveka Khyatira Viplavan Anopayaho. Number 1. Hanasyopayaho. Okay. Hanasyopayaho. Tato Mitya Jinyanasya Dagatapi Pave Pagamaha Dagatapi Pavo Pagamaha Punashijan Prasava Ityesha Mokushasya Maigo Hana Ityopaya Hanasyopaya Hanasyopaya Iti Maigo Hanasyopaya Iti. Okay, so maybe after this I'll take a break. Now, what is the means of attaining escape? The means of attaining escape is unwavering discriminative discernment. Discriminative discernment of the presented idea of the difference between Sattva and the self. But this discernment wavers when erroneous perception is not repressed. When erroneous perception, reduced to the condition of burnt seed, fails to reproduce itself, then the flow of the presented ideas of discrimination belonging to the Sattva, which is cleansed from rajas, belonging to the hindrances, and which continues in the higher clearness, in the higher consciousness of being master, becomes stainless. This unwavering discriminative discernment is the means of escape. After this, erroneous perception tends to become reduced to the condition of burnt seed, and its failure to reproduce itself is the path to release, the way of approach to escape. Well, I'm not, hello, Mr. RPG. Well, I don't understand the Sanskrit, but I'm able to read the Sanskrit in the Aryan pronunciation. So I'm not reading Hindi. I actually consider Sanskrit and Hindi to be two different languages. So that's where I'm coming from. If you don't agree with me, then I don't think we could continue the rest of the conversation. But yeah, the way I'm pronouncing it is the original way it was intended to be pronounced. And it has been lost for 500 years. The last person who spoke it, like me, were Shri Chaitanya and Shri Nityananda and a few others. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little break. But I have the so if you're still here, RPG, you could reply whatever. I have 10 minutes left. I'm gonna take a quick break. I might go over a couple of minutes since I'm taking a break, but a break is needed. Yeah, well, with Sanskrit, the proper pronunciation is that you enunciate every single thing that is on there. So if it's, for example, on the screen, it's not a good, I don't want to move the screen, but I want to point at something that's kind of obvious. Oh, here we go. So, tasya. It's not tasya, or else it'll be, if this is a double T. So, and this is ma ji tasya, and it's not ma, ji, da, sia. It's ma, ji, de, da, sia. That's a difference of reading Aryan Sanskrit and reading Hindi. That's one difference. So as a Korean person, I'll take it as a compliment that I have to take his Hindi accent. All I'm doing is reading Sanskrit in the original Aryan pronunciation. I'm doing it 90% accurately, so Sanskrit is my soul language. It's my first language. What was your first language? Sanskrit is my first language. I just don't remember it like fully yet. It messes the crap out of me. And that's the truth. If I knew everything about Sanskrit, then this world itself will be a different place. And that's just one person that I'm speaking about, which is myself. I hope I'm not alone doing this. This is how do you change the world? What I'm doing could change the world. Once you change yourself, then changing the world would be like talking in terms of Pac-Man. You become the reverse Pac-Man and eat the other guys basically forever, and there's no time limit. And I'm not there yet, so and there are forces that are trying to stop me because I'm trying to get there, and it looks like I might make it there if there are no forces that are trying to obstruct me from getting there. And the situation is really dire. I don't even know why I'm laughing. Okay, here we go. Alright, there's no response to what I said, so I'll take it that you don't have any other concerns. Thank you. Tasya sabdatai prananta bhumiha prajñai tasyati pratyuditakhyateh pratyamanayah sabdatati ashudutya paranomala kamana kama pagama chichitasya. Ashudutya paranomala pagama chichitasya pratyaya nutapade sati. Okay, number 2. Sapudataivam Sapudaprakaraivam Prajña. Oh, sorry. Why am I? Prajña vivekino bhavati. Sapudaprakaraivam prajña vivekino bhavati. Sorry. Tadyatha parijña tam heyam nasya punah parijñayamasati kushvina heya hetavo na punareteshwam kushwatavyamasti satashwat. Another comment making. This is the thickest text in Hindi. I have to take it as a form of compliment. And I can only laugh as a response. Satashatakaratam Nirutasama. Okay. Ta, what in the world? It's not V, I know that. T, I believe it's T. I'll make sure it's T. It's 27. Tina. Tina, yeah, Tina, Nirota sama Tina. Nirota sama Tina. I said it here, so I don't have to say it there. That's one thing I'll change from now on. Yeah, I said it. I don't need to repeat myself. No, those are more authentic looking letters. Maybe. Nama. Pabito. Viveka Khyati Rupo. What in the world is that? Fasini. Mrusho. Rupopo. Viveka Khyati. Viveka Khyati Rupo. Hanopaya iti. Eshwo. Chatushutayi. Karya. Sorry. I'll say the verse again. Eshwo Chatushutayi Karya. Number 1. Karya Vimukutiha. Vimukutiha Prajñāyāha. Cittata Mukutisu Cittata Vimukutisutu Trayi. Charita Tikara Buddhatiha Guna Girishikara Tato Chiutan. Girishikara Tato Chiutan. Girishikara Tato. Girishikara Tato. Girishikara Tato Chiutan. Kutta Kurutta. Kutta. Kutta Chiutan. Girishikara Kutta Chiutan. Girishikara Kutta Chiutan. Iva Gravano Dirabasatana Svakaranoe Pralaya Pimukha Saha Tenasatam Gachachananti. Na Jaishwam Parabilina Nam Punarasiti Uttapadaha. Punarasati Uttapadaha. Prayojan. Oh wow, almost done. Okay. Prayojana Pabaditi. Prayojana Pabaditi. Atasyam Avasatayam Gunosambanantati Taha. Svarupamatra Jyotiramalaha. Svarupamatra Jyotiramalaha. Kevali Purusho iti. Etan Saptapitan Pranatapumi Pranjinya Manupashyatnan Purusho. Pranatapumi Pranjinya Manupashyanan Purusho. Kushala ityan khyayate. Prati prasavepi. Prati prasavepi Chittatasya Mukutaha kushala ityeva bhavati gunati tattva-diti. Gunati tattva-diti. Okay. Savepati prasavepi. Saveti. Huh. Bhatipura Saveti. Bhatipura Saveti. In this version, look at that. Bhatipura Saveti Chittatasya Mugataha Kushala Ityeva Bhavati Gunati Tattva-diti. Alright, just covering myself. So yeah, after this I'm gonna take a break. For him, insight sevenfold and advancing in stages to the highest. The words for him refer to him in whom discernment is uprisen. The word sevenfold means that the insight of the discriminating after the removal of the defilements from the covering of impurity, when no other kind of presented idea is generated in the mind stuff, has just 7 forms as follows. The thing to be escaped has been thought out, nor need think it out again. The reasons for the thing to be escaped have dwindled away, nor need they dwindle away again. The escape is directly perceived by the concentration of restriction. The means of escape in the form of discriminative discernment has been cultivated. So this is the fourfold final release belonging to insight, which may be effected. But the final release of the mind stuff is threefold. The authority of the thinking substance is ended. The aspects, like rocks fallen from the top of the mountain peak without support, of their own accord incline towards dissolution and come with this to rest. And when these are quite dissolved, they do not cause growth again, because there is no impelling cause. In this stage, the self has passed out of relation with the aspects, and enlightened by himself and nothing more, is stainless and isolated. The self beholding this sevenfold insight advancing in stages to the highest is denominated fortunate. Even when there's also the inverted generation of the mind stuff, the self is said to be released fortunate, because he has passed beyond the aspects. Okay, should I take a break? Or am I done? I think I'm done. Okay, yeah, I'm done, because the next sutra and the comment by Vyasa is so if there's any questions, just ask me. I hope whatever I said once again satisfied Mr. RPG's question. And yeah, once again, I wasn't reading Hindi in the thickest accent of Hindi. I was reading Sanskrit in the original Aryan pronunciation, not the intended Sanskrit accent. Like, this is supposed to be how it's supposed to be have been read, up until 5,000 years ago when Sanskrit started disappearing. And you could actually see in the Buddha Charita, the Sanskrit in the middle of the book kind of cuts off after chapter 11 or 12, not middle, towards the beginning. So after, a quarter of the entire book, the Sanskrit disappears altogether. And that's like a sign saying that Sanskrit ended here. That's true. So, the way I'm pronouncing it is the way they used to pronounce it up until 5,000 years ago. Or I'm trying to mimic it as much as I can, which is about 90% at least, because I've studied it for a long time now. I mean, it might not look it, but yeah, I've studied it for a while, and I want to study it until I die. That's how much I like it. So, okay, done. I'm gonna fix my title here. So if you have 30 seconds from the time you hear this, guys, I gotta fix some stuff for the next session. I'm doing myself a favor by being nice to myself, preparing myself for the next session. Yeah, I'll fix that now. Then I'll just do this. Okay, thank you very much. I'll just say I'm taking a break so the self is aware, because who knows where the self will be as far as where the mind is concerned. Thank you. Alright, I'll be chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and within the next hour, 1 hour, within 1 hour. Thank you. No, should I? Yeah, I should.